Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the Elder class mod in Baldur's Gate 3 and the Aquamancian subclass in particular. This is a mod that's made by Orhin1985. It is now available on console and there are 12 different subclasses. Let me know which of these you'd like to see me cover next, but I've already previously covered the Windwalker and the Aquamancian here today. So this is a really fun one. So we get spells all the way through up to level 10 spells. So if you go with the level 20 expanded mod, you're going to get new spells all the way through. It is incredible. There's not really any other mods that do this, but we get here with the Aquamancian at level 1, the Elder's Creator Restore Water, nice ice knife, Geyser here, which propels water at a high speed from our hands, which will pierce through enemies and create wet surfaces for 3 turns, and the Aqua Shield here, which makes you immune to burning, get 3 or 5 temporary hit points, and deal 5 cold damage to attackers. Someone similar to like your Armor of Agathis. Now, we get to choose from cantrips here. So obviously, Ray of Frost is going to get into the mix, and Shocking Grasp too works well for anyone that's up close in our face. You can also use Shillelagh if you want to be able to beat people with your staff in the early game. It's honestly some pretty solid damage. Bone Chill I do really like to have, and my other choice is Mage Hand here, but some people like to have things like the Friends cantrip for the face of the party. Eldritch, actually, yeah, we may as well throw Eldritch Blast on there. It's a really good spell. And then my last one's gonna be Mage Hand there, but our spell selections, I would recommend having Shield. Mage Armor can be nice in the early game, especially. I don't mind having that. Find Familiars can be good for the Ravens. We also get spells like Guiding Bolt, Command. We already have our version of Armor of Agathis, so we're gonna take Sanctuary. And then the last one, if you don't have anyone on your team with Long Strider, you can be the one to take that. I also like to be able to get Hex. It's pretty useful. And our ability score spread. Wisdom is going to be the main stat for this. 16 Dexterity and 14 Constitution. You can swap those stat scores around if you prefer. And for our skill proficiencies, Persuasion for sure, as well as Acrobatics. So if we get shoved around, not a big deal, or not as much of a big deal, and Perception there. I'm also using the Istitia Water Robe here by Barry Semifreddo. This also got released on console today. Perfect time for a water-themed playthrough. Level 2 gives us our Ancestral Power Source. So when you roll spell damage, you can use 1 Elder Power to deal maximum damage instead. They also do note in this mod that you should use some difficulty mods to make this a little bit more challenging because this mod is pretty strong. At level 2, you also get the ability to use your Elder Power to trigger devastating additional effects on top of our spells, and we get sorcery points. You also get to choose 2 more Elder spells. I guess we'll take Magic Missile and Thunder Wave, and for these choices here, funny enough, if you download the Sorceress class, which also released on console today, this adds in a meta magic. I still think that going with this Twinned and Extended is really good. Extended is honestly underrated because this can trigger our gear to apply twice. So any effects that you get from gear will actually be doubled from this, which is actually kind of silly. It gets very powerful. Level 3 gives us the Elder Stance, which lets us go pure Spellcaster or a War Mage. We also get to choose between more spells here with like Scorching Ray and Misty Step being top priority. Actually, I like to have my Hold Persons on there as well. We get another Meta Magic with Quicken Spell entering the mix. Honestly, the choice. And an Elder's Fighting Style. So you do have a lot of options here. And others if you got mods installed. I would recommend a Defense for the +1 armor class. It's really nice. You could go with some of the other choices here. It's honestly your choice. But I do think Defense brings the greatest value to the team. So that's what we're going to go roll with. Just being able to avoid hits is so important in this game. And I'd actually recommend going with the prepared spells as such. Upon hitting level 4 is when we get more Elder spells with Elder boosts as well. So with these, Misty Step and Spiritual Weapon being 2 solid choices. Now, we got Sculpt spells, which is honestly a really good one on this build because we have so many large reaching attacks. So this doesn't just apply to Avocation spells, it applies to all spells created by the Elder subclass. So yeah, this is really nice. There's also a second bonus action. These 2 are really good. You can also get Magical Darkness, but since we got bonus action spells, it makes sense to grab another bonus action. We're going to prepare the following, and for our first feat, Alert for the +5 to Initiative, or go with a Wisdom increase, even a Dexterity increase if you wanted, kind of Initiative and a bit more Armor class. Now we get to take another Elder Power cantrip here, I guess. I'm going to go with Thorn Whip here. We also get to take a couple more Elder powers, which counterspell, amazing. We'll also take Lightning Bolt there, and the Elder Magic Infusion. So you can either go with the, after casting a spell, you can cast a cantrip as a bonus action, or after casting a spell or a cantrip, you can then make a weapon attack as a bonus action. This entirely depends. I do think in most situations, it's probably better for you to do the extra cantrip attack. But hey, you could also go with the weapon attack too. It's your personal choice there. I do think the cantrip is way better though. We'll prepare the following spells here. Nice to have Lightning Bolt just for the long range attacks. Level 6 gives us our subclass feature, Absolute Zero. Once activated for the cost of 1 Elder Power, you can add effects to your spells. If it's a cold damage spell and you hit your target with advantage, you freeze him for 2 turns. If it's a weapon attack, you automatically hit a crit. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, that's really, really good. We also can then take Glyph of Warding here. It's a short-range fireball. You can also take Fireball for a long-range fireball. I like Glyph of Warding too if you're a half-elf or a full elf, because you can drop the sleep glyph at your feet and you're immune to sleep, but everything around you is going to go honk shoe. Level 7 though, we get some new spells. We get Elder's Ice Storm, which is similar to the regular one, but Hydro Cannon. You release 2 water cannons that hit all enemies in the line in front of you, creating a water surface for 3 turns, applying wet. Pretty good stuff. We don't need to grab this version of it here, but I completely missed. We do have Spirit Guardians and Hunger of an Hour. May as well throw those on. Spirit Guardians is one of the best spells in the game. We get 2 more Elder boosts here. So Elder's Arcane Acuity is pretty strong. You know the Helmet of Arcane Acuity. That's that, but a feat. Pretty strong. You can also go with a fast attack. If a creature attacks you, you can use your reaction to make a melee attack, which is honestly really nice, because you can sometimes take them out with that. Magic Resilience gives advantage on saving throws against spells. You know, there's a lot of really good powers here. And if you want with a bonus action attack, Elder Strike can be really nice here. I also think that the Elder Vision is probably the true best. Darkness is so crazy powerful in this game, but if you don't want that, you could go with like the spell Infusion here. And we'll prepare the following spells. Actually, I'll throw on Spirit Guardians there. Nothing level 4 to prepare there because we already got our Ice Storm. It's all we really needed. Level 8 gives us Aqua Protection though. This allows you to get resistance to cold damage and piercing, and you can't do 1 cold and water spell attack rolls. I think that means you can't roll a 1 whenever you do those spells. So for any of our cold and, I guess, water cold spells, we can also take Conjure Minor Elemental too, because there's water or ice methods there that we can use to explode and also create ice surfaces for us. We already got all the spells that we kind of need at this point, but if you wanted to, you could go with something like a Grasping Vine here, or the Woodland Being is probably the true best choice here. Grasping Vine is nice, you can pull enemies toward you. I don't like to use these, it gets a little bit too overpowered at that point, but it's a choice that you could choose. We'll also go with a wisdom-based increase. We're going to do a lot of spell casting. May as well be good at it. Level 9 gives us our Elder's Cone of Cold, level 5 spell, and Elder's Freezing Sphere, which is a 98 of cold damage, like Odaluke's Freezing Sphere. Ice surfaces for 10 turns, though. That's pretty nice, because that's just going to basically take out that entire section of the map for the combat encounter, because combat never goes past 10 turns, so pretty good if you lay it down in a strategic place. Just be mindful of that fire damage, and if you have someone like the Heldas Gloves or any fire damage, it's going to burn that really quickly. We already get Cone of Cold, so we can take our Water Elemental, because their punches will make double cold damage, so pretty useful. We also get Destructive Wave, which is pretty crazy, because if we freeze a target, this will shatter them. It's nuts. We also then can take another choice in subtle meta magics here. Distance Spell being nice, giving yourselves an increased range in your spells is always good, because we can then cast from further away, and we'll prepare both of these here. Destructive Wave is just so good. It's probably the best level 5 spell in the game. And level 10, we get another cantrip here, Vicious Mockery, 2 more spells. So I guess we could take Flame Strike and the Hold Monster spell. We already have Cone of Cold from our subclass, and as we continue to level up, we're going to get more and more abilities. So we could stop at 12 or go all the way to 20. Thrifty Sorcery here, level 11. You finally discovered the possibilities of using magic efficiently. For the cost of 1 Elder Power, you can use any spell without expending a spell slot. Pretty crazy stuff there. We also got Elder's Wall of Ice and the Call of the Kraken. This is really cool. So summon the mighty beast of the abyss to tear through the battlefield, damaging targets and infecting them with its parasite. So I'll go and show that off. In the combat section, we can also get some more level 6 spells like Chain Lightning, Globe of Invulnerability, a really good spell. And we now get some more powerful Elder boosts. So we got Close Range Magic Attack here. Your ranged spell attacks can be made as melee spell attacks. It's toggle. There's Wise Spells, which lets you, and when you cast a spell, add in the form of psychic damage or wisdom modifier. There's Wise Strikes, which will add force damage equal to your wisdom modifier, and melee attacks. Brutal Critical gives us some more crits. Better Elder Status gives a slight boost to our spell save DC. I think it's best to go with the top 2 choices here, so we're going to grab those, and we'll prepare Globe of Invulnerability, because that's like the press button to win, so we'll take that. And level 12 gives us a Snow Burst, so when you deal cold or piercing water damage with a spell, you create a 2-meter circle of ice around the target for 2 turns. So it's like the Snowburst string, pretty good. We also then can take another couple spells here. We already have, I guess we have a weaker version of Luke's Freezing Sphere, so you could take the higher level version if you really wanted to, but it'll upcast properly to that same amount of damage, so not necessary. We already got pretty much everything that we need at this point, so I guess we can play our ally if you really want to get overpowered. That's the thing. So we got lots of powerful abilities, so you're hard pressed not to do a lot of damage when it comes into combat because we just got a lot of tools in our disposal. So feel free to even remove some of these off of your skill bar because it could be a lot of spells, but I think it's nice to have the options. We'll then for level 12 take our ability score improvement here on our wisdom. And you can stop at 12. I'm going to go all the way to 30 or 20 to show you guys the max level here. But we got Whirlpool here, so you can create a vortex that divides movement of opponents caught in it. It inflicts piercing damage and brings targets back to the center of the vortex at the start of each of their turns. So cool. It's kind of like a black hole in a sense. And we also can continue to take more spells here. And the spell list is kind of jumbled now. We have level 2 over the top. You don't really, again, need any of these spells here, so it's personal preference, I guess. At this point, we're just going to have these ones there prepared, and you can continue. That's the nice thing about this, is prepared, so you don't have to have all these equipped. I guess 8 is a nice spell to have on. Pass with a Trace can be good. We also get to take another Elder boost at this point. Spell infusion is kind of nice. We're going to go with this one here, so when we do weapon attacks, we're not going too often, but we can infuse and power up our spells a little further. Level 15 though, we get hidden power. So we've reached the full potential of our magic. While your hidden power is activated, you become immune to predominant elements. Your melee attacks will give additional 1d4 of damage, and you get a 1+ bonus to elemental save DC, and a +1 bonus to your elemental spell attack rolls. I'm not sure what the elemental means there. I think that's just, it applies to all of them. We also get the Aquamancian here. So the full power of water. While your hidden power is activated, you become immune to cold damage and piercing, and your melee attacks will deal additional cold damage. Oh, it's a cold and piercing spell save DC. Now it's updated there, prop. On this one, a little confusing there. But yeah, that's going to boost up your cold damage and piercing damage spell save DC. Tsunami. This does a 10d8 of piercing, create a giant wave that repels all enemies 6 meters, and in any case, and also inflicts piercing damage, puts water surfaces down for 3 turns. I guess we'll grab guidance there because it's nice to have that. Mirror image is not bad to grab, as well as enhanced ability. You can always prepare these to help out outside of combat. Level 16, we get ourselves another choice in spells here. Greater invisibility, I guess, at this point, and we already have Armor of Agathis, so I guess Disintegrate, it's fun. And for our feat, since we already got a wisdom max out, you could go with the dexterity or constitution increase, but I also think that it's good to go with like the tough feat, since we're going to we'll go all the way up to level 20. That's 40 extra health. Health is a resource, like magic, so our spell slots, so we want to use it. Now at level 17, we have Beneficial Death. After killing a target with a spell and once per long rest, you can use 1 Elder Power to get 8 sorcery points. We also then can take a couple more spells, let's take whatever, and prepare the following. Level 18 gives us another choice in spells here, and Elder boost. Magic Resilience, advantage on saving throws. Nice. We'll take that. And then once we get to level 19, Chromatic Knowledge. You can choose one of the spells of the other Elder Power subclasses. You can use it with your Elder Power. This is really cool. So I guess we'll take Knock too. It's a good one to have. You can take some of these higher level spells that the other classes get, like Mind Blast there, which can stun enemies. Elder Shadow Blade, which does 5 to 40 psychic damage. There's a Corp Explosion, which does a big blood surface explosion. Gravitron. I actually like the Tornado from the Windwalker one. I also did a build on that if you're curious. I still think that going with something like the Mind Blast ends up being the best. Psychic damage is so good, and stun is insane, so very useful. And yeah, we'll prepare the following spells. And level 20 gives us Iceberg Blow. 10d10 cold damage, shoot a big ice beam and freeze everyone for 2 turns. Action, a bonus action, 30 meter range. It's pretty good stuff here. And the final feat, we get a feat at level 20. It's probably best to go with like Dexterity, Constitution increase. Lucky is another good choice you could use to reroll some die if you wanted to, but I don't think you even need it. We're so strong. And as mentioned, I'm using Istishia Robe here by Barry Simifredo. It's awesome, and I'd highly recommend using his outfit for this. I'm not going to go over too much of the equipment just because this build is super overpowered. It does make sense for you to min-max and talk about all the gear choices, but if you really want to, you can let me know in the comments. But I don't think it's necessary for a build of this strength. Even if you're playing on the higher difficulty modes, you can just sometimes get by with this. So this armor does have, I guess, a high armor class, so I could swap that off. And even with like something like the Wave Mother's Robe, we still have a pretty solid armor class from our dexterity. Yeah, we'll go with the Wave Mother's Robe, just makes sense for this build. And I'm also going to use the Morning Frost here, which will inflict chill on the target potentially when we deal cold damage, and we get additional cold damage. There's lots of items. I've covered other builds in the past. Go look at my like cold-based sorcerer if you're curious for other pieces of gear. We already basically have everything we wanted though. Like the Snowburst Ring is built in. You could go with some of the like the Winter's Clutches, I guess, and the Cold Brim have if you really wanted to go all in on this. And then since we have ice surfaces, go with like Disintegrating Nightwalkers. But yeah, I don't want to go too in depth on gear here just because this is so strong. So we can trigger our water form with the hidden power Aquamancian, which is really cool. So then we get this big wave around us and we look really cool. So I'm going to show off the big hurrah Icebird blow here. That's our like final capstone spell that we get. It's a level 10 spell slot, which you don't see here properly, but we can still cast it. So it's a big array of icy blowing attacks. So I'm actually going to line up better so I can hit more targets with it. I'll use the shield spell. It's fine. Actually, I shouldn't have done that. It's going to eat up a counter spell, but that's okay. We want to hit as many targets as we can. It has a huge radius, you see, so blast away there, and that'll freeze anyone that doesn't kill, and we also create those ice surfaces below enemies. But yeah, everyone in our radius got obliterated. Hydro Cannon is kind of a similar concept. Oh geez, that obliterated Shadowheart too. Hydro Cannon, kind of a similar vibe there. So yeah, we can only cast one level 7 or one level 10 spell per turn, so can't do that again. But Mind Blast is another good one because it's similar to the Illithid ability from Mind Blast. That's our like special cap, so I'm not going to use it because it will just literally obliterate everybody here. Some of the spells are similar to other ones that we've gotten here. Aqua Wave here lets us teleport around, which will create water surfaces. Sleet Storm, Icy Vapors, which you can use in a large area of effect here. Actually, I'm going to use this one, so I'm going to walk right up and get into a larger area here, and we'll blast away with that, creating some ice surfaces, making them prone, and now all of this is ice. So everyone that's walking by, ice will also summon in more guards. Not that people play this way often, but we also lost one of our bonus actions somehow, but we can then use a Quicken spell. It's the crazy thing about this build, and we have 2 bonus actions, so you know, it gets a little crazy. So yeah, I guess since there's a bunch of enemies in the backline now, we may as well start trying to stop them. So we'll use the Elder's Freezing Sphere here, and we'll just drop that down right there, creating ice surfaces and blowing up everybody again. Yeah, they're all dead, but it summoned in another one. Okay, we got another combatant coming after us, but yeah, you can see there's a lot of ice in the ground. I like things like this. That's why I made the College of Winter Spirit Bard. It doesn't leave as much ice as this, but I like seeing the battlefield look like this, so it's really fun. Also, this ice will last quite a long time with the Ice Beam spell that you get at the end, making it last for 10 turns. Quite a long time, but hey, it's fun. That's what mods are all about. And the final 3 of them here. Perfect. I can use the Geyser spell here and actually hit all 3 of them. So we'll hopefully finish them off. Yeah, that worked on a couple of them. It froze this one here, who's the final standing member. So the thing with Frozen is we deal double damage with force damage. So we're going to see a big number here. 146 plus 10, yeah, and they disintegrated, all right. So that is the Elder class mod. It is a bit strong, so I'd recommend, again, using some more of the difficulty mods out there, but definitely a fun one. I think it's really cool. We also have things like the Blizzard spell here. So yeah, if you like ice surfaces, this is the way to do it. So there's the Blizzard. We got the Call of the Kraken 2, which is kind of similar to yeah, you see that there. Hydro Cannon, Edward's Black Tentacles, I was trying to say. There's the Hydro Beam spell, so you shoot it with the 2 cannons like your Blastoise. And then we also have the Aqua Shield here too, cool VFX. That gives us that nice watery, icy appearance. Icy Vapors, I guess I already showed that one off, but it'll create those ice surfaces on the ground, which is super nice. And Elder Sleet Storm. There's a lot of really cool stuff in this one, and I'll be covering the other 12 subclasses, so let me know which of these you would like to see next in the comments. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed, and we'll catch you in the next one.